Hey everyone, I'm Gauri Singh and this video is about insertion sort. I will take you through a bunch of things in this video which include how insertion sort works, the algorithm and logic behind it, and the time complexity of the algorithm along with a few examples so it's easier to understand. Let us first take a general example where you have a bunch of cards in your hand and you want to arrange them in ascending order of values. This will give you a better idea about how the insertion sort works. We start reading the cards from left side and we see all cards are in order except the last card, which is card 12. So our aim here is to find the correct location for card 12. We compare it with the previous card, which is card 36, and we see that 36 is greater, so we shift it and make place for 12. We compare it again with 24, and again 24 is greater than 12, so we move it again. Now we compare it with 10 and we see that 12 is greater than 10 now, so we know that the correct location for it becomes between 10 and 24. And this is how an insertion sort works too. The array is sorted sequentially and unsorted items are moved and inserted into the sorted sublist in the same array. Let us see with an example of array now. The insertion sort is a comparison-based sorting algorithm. Here's an input array, say A. I have taken only 6 elements to make it easier to understand. Our first element is 5, then 2, 4, 6, 1 and 3. At each iteration, the array is divided into 2 subarrays. One is the sorted sublist, which is the left subarray here, and the next is unsorted sublist, which is the right subarray here. Now, an element from unsorted list, for example 4, is taken as a temporary variable first. So we store it in a variable named temp, and then we compare it with the elements of sorted list. So we compare it with 5 and we see that 4 is smaller than 5. So we shift 4 between 2 and 5. So basically, an element from unsorted list is stored in a temporary variable and then compared with elements of sorted list. The element in sorted list is accordingly shifted and the value in temporary variable is then stored in the sorted list. Let's see how each step is performed in insertion sort. Initially, we take the first element to be the only element of sorted list. The list will always be sorted since it's the only element. Here our sorted list consists of the element 5, which is the first element. Now our temp variable is 2. We compare it with 5 and since 2 is less than 5, we exchange it, as you can see here. Now we get the sorted list as 2 and 5. Our next temp variable now changes to 4. So we compare 4 with the value 5 and again we see that 4 is less than 5, so we move 5 one place ahead. We don't directly insert 4 here because the element first has to be compared with all the elements of sorted list, and as you can see, that is why we have stored it in a temporary variable. Now we compare 4 with 2 and since 4 is greater than 2, the no swap takes place here and we get our sorted list as 2, 4, 5. Now our next temp is element 6. Now 6 is compared with 5 and as you can see 6 is already greater than 5, so no swap takes place, only the comparison does. The sorting continues similarly where each element from unsorted list is compared with elements of sorted list and inserted at their correct position, as you can see here. The process continues until the last element of array is compared with the sorted sublist, and finally we get our sorted sublist as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Here's how we write the code for this sorting. We can see that the code will require 2 loops. One will be incrementing the value of I so that each value of array is sorted, and another loop for decrementing the value for comparing in the sorted list. You see 4 will be compared with 5 and then 2. 6 has to be compared with 5, 4 and 2. So we take 2 variables I and j. Now let's write the code. So our outer loop starts from I equal to 1 instead of I equal to 0. Since I equal to 0, it's considered as the sorted sublist. So our array will start comparing from I equal to 1, that is here the element 2. We continue the loop till end of array because all the elements have to be compared. Hence we get our for loop, which is for I equal to 1, I less than n, and I plus plus. This is sorting the first element. So now in the loop we first take temp is equal to a of I, which is that the first element from unsorted sublist is stored in a temporary variable. And next is j is equal to I minus 1, because we compare the temp value with the value before it. We compare 4 with 5 first. We compare 6 with 5 first here. So we get j equal to I minus 1. Next we need to make the comparison. So we have another loop, which is the while loop. Since we compare all elements of sorted subarray, our first condition is that j should be greater than or equal to 0. It should be equal to 0 here because the first element also has to be compared, as you can see here. When I is equal to 1, j will be equal to 0, which is the first step. Next we check if value is greater than temp or not, which we can write as a of j is greater than temp. This is how we get the while loop, which is while j is greater than or equal to 0 and a of j is greater than temp. Now, if both conditions are true, we shift the values from subsorted list, which is written as a of j plus 1 is equal to a of j. Here, the value of a of j is assigned to a of j plus 1, not the other way around. And then we decrement the value of j. So, till the value of j reaches 0. The while loop ends here, which is that 4 will be shifted to 5 and 5 will be moved one place ahead. The while loop ends here, and hence it compares the values of temp with each element in sorted list until we find the correct location and shifts them accordingly. Finally, the temp value has to be stored, so we get our final step, which is a of j plus 1 is equal to temp. I will now trace, and this is where the for loop ends. So now let's trace the algorithm with an example. So here's an array with the elements 6, 4, 5, 10, 6 and 2, which is 6 elements. Now our first step is to compare 4 with 6, and we find that 4 is less than 6, so 4 is placed first, then 6, and now we will trace the array for I equal to 2. Here's the code for reference, and let's see. So we know that n is equal to 6, and we start the loop for I equal to 2 because I is less than n, I is 2 and n is 6. So now our temp is equal to a of I, which means temp is equal to a of 2, which is temp is equal to 5. You have to look at the second array right now, not the first one, because the first step has already been done. Now next is j is equal to I minus 1, which is j is equal to 2 minus 1, so j is equal to 1. Now look for the conditions of our next loop, which is the while loop. It says that while j is greater than or equal to 0, our j here is equal to 1 and a of j should be greater than 10. A of 1 is 6 and it is greater than temp. Temp value is 5. 6 is greater than 5. So we enter the loop. Now because both the conditions are true, so we enter the loop. So a of j plus 1, which is a of 2, will take the value of a of 1, that is a of j plus 1 is equal to a of j. Next, the value of j decrements. So our new j is j equal to 0. Again we check the loop. We know that j is greater than or equal to 0, which is true, but a of j is not greater than temp. 4 is not greater than 5. So we do not enter this loop and we we basically assign the value of 10 to a of j plus 1. So a new a of 1 will become equal to 5, and hence we get this as a new array. So we have 4, 5 and 6, and the loop continues for I equal to 3, I equal to 4 and I equal to 5. The algorithm continues similarly until all values are sorted. Now the final topic is the time complexity. The time complexity of an algorithm signifies the total time required by the program to run till its execution. Insertion sort here performs two operations. It scans through the list comparing each pair of elements, and it swaps elements if they are out of order. Each operation contributes to running time of the algorithm in this case. So first we have our best time complexity. So if the input array is already in sorted order, insertion sort compares n elements and performs no swaps. Therefore, in the best case, insertion sort runs in order of n time. Next is worst time complexity. The worst case for insertion sort will occur when the input list is in decreasing order. To insert the last element, we need at most n-1 comparison and at most n-1 swaps. To insert the second to last element, we need at most n-2 comparisons and n-2 swaps, and so on. Thus, we get the worst case time complexity as order of n square. When analyzing algorithms, the average case often has the same complexity as the worst case, so insertion sort on average takes order of n square time again. Insertion sort has a fast best case running time and is a good sorting algorithm to use if the input array is already mostly sorted or small in size. It is not efficient when the data size is big. And this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching.